Hello, I'm Chelsea Fry with ABRN Magazine. Online reviews are a go-to for any customer looking to buy a product online. The same holds true for the automotive repair industry. Online reviews build your reputation, boost or harm your search engine ranking, and provide digital word of mouth for your business. David Rogers, the Chief Operating Officer of Keller Brothers Inc. and President of Auto Profit Masters, is with us today to talk about how you can take control and get more positive reviews online using social media. David, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for having me.
David, aside from the formal reviews, such as giving a star rating, what are other ways customers are giving reviews on social media?
Their interactions with you can range. If they know you, you may see some posts to your wall. You may be tagged in some posts. Those are both really helpful. If you can get tagged in the right kinds of posts, get in front of a good viral audience, it'd be a great exposure for you. If they don't know you yet, asking questions about you to their friends and family, or asking for general recommendations where their friends, family can't, or where friends go or where family can recommend you. These are all invitations to interact. If they're happy, it's a chance to further grow the relationship, to thank them for their time, to show you are listening and that you care. These are all cues as to what they might expect in an automotive repair environment. So if they're getting good vibes in those processes, they're going to be a little bit more comfortable walking in. They feel like they kind of already know you, and that's really what we're trying to accomplish in social. If they're unhappy, it's a chance to really win the customer back and to make clear what your policies are and what the rules are when things don't go well. I think it's really important for me as a customer or a client of someone. I want to know, how they're going to handle it if I'm displeased. So there's some keys here I'll give you. Number one, avoid responding when you're angry. Which one of us doesn't get mad when we get insulted? Get all of the details from your team, perform an investigation very quickly, look at all the written items, look at all, interview the individuals involved, make sure you understand all of what went on before you respond. Don't be snippy and don't be passive aggressive. Show that you care about them, that you want to make it right. Or if there's not a chance to win that customer back, then at least take it offline. Get it out of that forum, out of that room, and try to engage in a non-public forum like with your cell phone, okay?
How can shops maintain their social media presence and prolong their relationships with customers online?
You really have to commit to social media. You have to listen, which means monitoring around the clock. It means checking in more than most people do once or twice a week. It also means you have to invite them to say things, which is very frightening. You need to understand that discussion, that social interaction, it's not a one-way street. It's not something that's designed for you to have your say or run out a special and then, sit back and everyone's going to play nice. So you need to ask yourself, are you just posting automotive news or specials? Because if you are, you're not trying to have a conversation. You must respond to every comment. I know someone that does a great job, and he responds to every single like. If you like one of his posts, he comes on and says, thank you for liking that post. And he may even ask you a question about what you liked about it just to get you going. And that's a real commitment. Don't ever ignore a complaint and get to the bottom quickly. Address it with your team and care for that customer. You don't necessarily have to respond immediately the very second it happens, as we discussed a few minutes ago. It's really good sometimes to just wait a little bit until you can come up with the clearest response, one that reflects what you'd be proud of in a week. Respond to questions and compliments too. If your customers see you engage with all types of comments, they're going to be a lot more likely to engage with you. You have to ask because, as we said before, social is not passive. If you're not asking for feedback or comments, you're probably not getting any. You have to participate and get in. That isn't just participate in conversations you start, but in conversations other people start as well. I have a great friend. He is very well known in the social networking world. He's got tons of followers, but he has one of the worst pages for generating business because he never interacts with anyone. He gets people to follow him because he has great pictures and stuff, but he never responds to any comments. He doesn't, he'll hit like. That's as much as he'll go. And as a result, his page is kind of void. You enjoy it for about the first couple days when you're looking at it, here and there. And then after that, it gets really stinking boring. It's like going through all the pictures in the magazines at the doctor's office. It just, it loses its luster. Let me give you an example of participation. If you know that somebody's gotten into a car accident, say, you can use that opportunity to care for your neighbor. Someone says, oh, I was in a wreck this morning on the way to work. I'm stuck in traffic. Jump in, offer to arrange for a tow for their vehicle. Say, hey, I can get a tow truck there right away. Do you need me to come over and pick you up? Are you safe? Is your family safe? Use it the same way that you would interact with your friends and close persons, and you'll find that it works really well. And let me add another thought. If you are uncomfortable about asking people for their opinions, or you're uncomfortable asking people to say whatever they think on your page and just deal with it, then you might want to take a look at your service, at your training, at your level of confidence in your staff and what's going on in the shop. That's one of the things that really hit me hard when social started was, gee, if I'm nervous about people getting out there and talking about me, then I'm really not where I want to be completely with my staff training. I better get back in there and have another look. So keep it in mind, you're never going to stop social from happening. It's happening and you're part of it, whether you know it or not. So all you can really control is what your involvement is, what your level of engagement is, and what image and feeling people have in perspective to your business.
There are countless potential customers seeking advice, reviews, and recommendations on social media. Make sure your shop is well represented. Hopefully David's comments on actively getting reviews will help your shop in continuing the dialogue with customers outside of the shop. To learn more, you can reach out to David via email at contact@autoprofitmasters.com. Thank you.
Hey, happy marketing.